This conference will now be recorded.
अद्य शनिवासरः अथवा मन्दवासरः भाद्रपद कृष्ण दशमी दिनांक 12 सितंबर 2020 सहस्रयोगं कुष्माण्डाग्ने शङ्खं चक्रं जलौकान् ददतमृतघटं चारुदोर्भिश्चतुर्भिः सूक्ष्मस्वच्छातिहृद्यां शुकपरिविलसन् मौलिमं भोजनेत्रं कालाम्भोदोज्ज्वलाङ्गं कटितटविलसत् चारुपीताम्बराढ्यं वन्दे धन्वन्तरिं तं निखिलगगनप्रौढदावाग्निलीलम् प्रौढदावाग्निलीलम् ब्रह्मणो हि समारब्धा मात्रेयार्थेषु पूजिता अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम् आयुर्वेदरतं वन्दे माधवाख्यं महागुरुम् आयुर्वेदामृतं सर्वं शिष्येभ्यो यः प्रदत्तवान् द्रष्टाज्ञानी दृष्टकर्मा कृतकर्मा तथैव च अध्यापको श्रेष्ठो महान् संशोधकस्तथा गुणैरेतैः समुदितैः यत्कार्यं प्रतनोति सः समृद्ध्यर्थं हि कार्यस्य वयं न प्रयतामहे सरस्वत्यै नमो यस्याः प्रसादात् पुण्यकर्मभिः बुद्धिदर्पणसङ्क्रान्तं जगदध्यक्षमीक्षते आत्रेयं प्रथमं वन्दे आयुर्वेदजगद्गुरुम् आयुर्वेदामृतं सर्वं गृहीत्वा हि सुरेश्वरात् अग्निवेशादिकेभ्यो यत् प्रयच्छत् सत्तमः प्रथमं तन्त्रकर्तारम् अग्निवेशं नमाम्यहम्। कुष्माण्ड रसायन द्वितीयः पाठः वीतत्वगस्ति कुष्माण्ड तुलां स्वेन्नां पुनः क्वचित् घट्टेन सर्पिष प्रस्थे क्षौत्र वर्णयत्र चक्षिपेत् खण्डाच्छतं कणाशुण्ठ्योर्विपुलं जीरकादपि त्रिजातधान्यमरिचं पृथगर्धफलांशकम् अवतारितशीते च क्षौत्रं दद्यात् घृतार्धकं खजेनोन्मथ्य तच्च स्थाप्यम् निहन्त्युपयोजितं कासहिद्माज्वरश्वासरक्तपित्तक्षतक्षयान् पुरस्सन्धानजननं मेधास्फूर्तिबलप्रदम् अश्विभ्यां हृद्यं कूष्माण्डकरसायनम् त्वत्वीतत्वगस्ति कूष्माण्डतुलां स्विन्नां पुनः क्वचित् तस्य स्वेदनं कार्यं तदनन्तरं पुनः पाकः कर्तव्यः घट्टनम् सर्पिषा प्रस्थे क्षौद्रवर्णे तरचक्षु तर्हि घृतेन साकं तस्य भर्जनं कार्यं तद्यदा क्षौद्रवर्णं स्यात् ततः तत्र खण्डाक्षतं कणाशुण्ठ्योद्विपुलं जरकादपि विजातधान्यमरिचं पृथगर्धफलाशकम् एतत् सर्वं तत्र क्षिपेत् अवतारितशीते च क्षौत्रं दद्यात् कृतार्थकम् यदा अवतारितं तदा शीते जाते सति घृतम् अर्धकं घृतार्धकं क्षौद्रात् न क्षौद्रं घृतात् अर्धं दद्यात् खजेनोन्मथ्य च स्थाप्यम् खगमथनं तत्र कर्तव्यं तन्निहति उपयोजितं दासहिद्माज्वरश्वासरक्तपित्तक्षतक्षयां पुरस्सन्धानजननं मेधास्तुतिबलप्रदम् अश्विभ्यां वीतं नित्यं कूष्माण्डकरसायनम्. So there is a bit difference in this. The Falashruti is almost the same, but I think this is not that much Ushnavirya. So Kana, Shunthi, Jiraka, Trijata, Dhanya, Maricha, and Kshaudra is half part of the Gruta. So don't know which one is available in the market, Pushpanda Rasayana, first part or the second part. कशाचं प्रमाण नित्य कमी आहे अर्धफलांशकम विफलम कणाशुंठ्योर्द्विफलम बाकी त्रिजातधान्यमरिचार्धफलांशकम्. So I think most important is Urasandhana Janana. Medhasmriti Balaprada. So this might be used in today's COVID-19. Kushmandaka Rasayan. We are using Chyawanprash, but that is easily available. Kushmandaka Rasayan is not that easily available, but it can be prepared on large scale. That is one thing, and whatever is available, we may start using it. That will be better. Can be any role of in COVID? Yes, that is what I say. That this would be good in COVID-19 right now. I was just thinking about the scenario today and whether we can spread some message about this. Of course, this is very raw thinking, and we have to be very cautious uh, regarding spreading any message as such that no blame should be on us or either on Ayurveda. I say. But the situation is terrifying, and considering all aspects, it would be worthwhile to present the analysis of the patients in a different way. So whatever analysis they are doing, they are increasing the number of COVID positive so-called patients or something like that, day by day, not reducing anything. So Shakti Sindhu, Dhyananda Lab, whether it is available in Pune. I'm not sure whether this is the same or but Raksans I used before and it is quite Ushna Tikshna. Katurasa. So Vidyanand Lab might be Shakti Sindhu. We can try whether it is available in Pune or not. So we may try to provide category. Now they are giving the category that 43 lakh cases, out of which 34 lakh have been recovered. And so we just put it in that way that subtracting these, there will be these many 9 lakh cases or something like that. And if we are able to prove that this count 9 lakh subtraction is coming down, then there will be less fear in the minds of the people. Anyway, the success rate or recovery rate has been increasing day by day, and still there is a mismatch as regards if 78% are recovered or something like that, then 78% of 43 lakh is not that rate. So there is some mismatch in what the statistics they are putting in front. Amalki and Ashwini Prash is the separate part. Okay, but both of them are more Katurasatmaka. Secondly, the all COVID centers are basically isolation centers, and few of them require ICU management, and then there are no beds available or something because these are occupied by other non-asymptomatic patients or something. So let us categorize the society into two groups, one which is affording category and one which is not a non-affording category, or even when non-affording but don't want to go for government aid and such. So the isolation centers should basically be only isolation centers. these are not to be called as COVID-19 centers. These are just to be named as isolation centers. Those who don't have facility at home for isolation may be admitted in such centers, and they may be provided residence and food. That's all. And if people are ready to bring food from their home, they should be allowed to do that. So as such, there will be no much restrictions on asymptomatic patients, uh, asymptomatic people. We may not call them as patients as well, asymptomatic people, and those who can afford 100 rupees per day for food may be separated out in granule form. Okay. And those who cannot afford, government may spend with proper quality of food material. Now, only those patients who are having mild symptoms might be separated at home or in COVID centers if there is no facility at home. And basic thing is Langana in there. So they should be provided with food supported by Ayurveda or advised by Ayurveda. And depending upon the Agni and the symptoms, there might be few medicines given, or all of them may be given Samshamanivati, Rasayan Churna, etc. or Mahasudarshan Kadha or Ganavati, or maybe Ayush Kadha, but modified as per the patient or something like that. And the hospitals, or particularly ICUs, have to be kept reserved only for very active cases or advanced cases, so to say, having oxygen deficiency, maybe high grade fever, maybe other comorbidities like cancer, heart disease, kidney failure, hypertension, etc. etc. And those have to be treated properly. Now, whether they want to use Ayurveda, homeopathy for that or not, that still is a big question. But the hospitals should admit only these cases which are having high risk, and all other patients may be kept out. So instead of creating this fear again and again, and the deaths are due to depression, that is what my opinion is. So instead of, now they are increasing the number of tests, and so that more and more numbers are found which are asymptomatic, and that is here in hospital they are giving eggs, turmeric milk, upma to positive patients. That is true. So basically, Langana is the main treatment. We can start it with the mild symptom patients. We may try to do brainwash of just positive asymptomatic for drinking boiled water minimum. If you boil it with gold, that is fine, or silver, that is also fine, but at least boiled water. And homely food, better to take food from home for them or something like that. And these may not be called as COVID centers, they should be called as isolation centers. That's all. And mild symptoms may be treated separately because they may spread. The same strategy to be followed: boiled water, only soup to be given, no ghana ahar, no solid food to be given. Maybe medicines from Ayurveda or homeopathy should be given as per symptoms. It's not only that one drug to be given to all or something like that. And in acute conditions, it might be, this might be left to the general physicians. Mild symptoms, you consult your physician, general physician or family doctor, and whatever he advises, you start. That's all. If at all there is a change from mild to severe, then only one the hospitals may get involved. Otherwise, we are doing injustice to other patients like cancer, heart disease, etc., who are serious patients, and they are denied treatment. Yesterday, there was this doctor and who died of heart attack. No hospital admitted him, and he couldn't get any treatment. So, if this is a scenario for a doctor, then what to think about other people as such? So the hospital facilities basically should be made available for all sorts of patients, not only these patients. Now, whether there is a chance of spread of the disease or not, there is a chance, there is no doubt. With no symptoms or mild symptoms, there is a chance. But let us accept it that there are chances that the people may get suffer from it. And building immunity natural way should be emphasized all over India or globally or something like that. And there are restrictions to be observed by the patients. Counseling, yoga practices should be given emphasized, and Langana should be emphasized. So, how do we do this? This is again something very strange. Either there should be guidelines from Ayush department to the whole country as such about this. Now they have released a document of 45 pages, Ayush, and that is quite elaborate. But who is implementing that? Basic issue is whether Ayush centers all over India are implementing this strategy or not. And if it is only the ICMR that is going to play a role and no other government agency also is having any part in it, then it's a difficult situation. So let us reach the masses with the concept of building immunity. We may not say anything about COVID and anything else, etc., etc. We may emphasize on isolation, that is also fine. And if there are hostels now, there are so many hostels which are vacant because the students are at home and the colleges are yet to begin. So hostels do have facility of attached toilet or at least nearby or something like that. And there are chances that asymptomatic patients admitted in this hospital, they have this canteen and dining hall, etc., etc. So let these hostels get converted into isolation centers, not COVID centers. Let there be a doctor or staff who would examine only patients with symptoms, either mild or severe or something like that. And people might be allowed to ask to get home food. If not available, then maybe given food over there, even at cost or without cost. We may categorize it with cost or without cost. And simple dal, roti, sabji should not be costing more than 50 rupees a day. And even if we emphasize on Mudga Yusha and Dhanya Jeera Kashunti Kashaya, etc., etc., that should also be fine. So, 100 rupees maximum should be the cost if you order a meal from the center. Otherwise, you should have an option to bring it from your home or any neighbor, anybody or something like that. And if at all there are symptoms, then we may switch them over to uh, hospital as such. And yoga practices and this should be emphasized for these people keeping the social distancing, etc. in hostel lives. So building immunity naturally should be given preference in such a situation. And there will be now the Pune survey says that 51% got cured from corona. They didn't even understand that they have been infected, but they uh, what, the antibodies have been developed in their body. So this is again what is said that this immunity, herd immunity, that is playing its role. That happen. Only those patients which are having comorbidity like diabetes, heart disease, kidney failure, pregnancy, etc., etc., may be separated out, and they should not come in contact with any other people, etc. And that will reduce the burden on the hospital, that will reduce the burden of the management of so-called patients or something like that, which are not really patients, but they have been labeled as patients. And that is why this fear psychosis is playing its role. And if we emphasize on building natural immunity to fight the situation, that will be better or something like that. Maybe I write an article over email once again. I have written one article before and may try to send it to Ayush and many other people. But I'm not sure what is going to be the response from Ayush as such or other doctors as such. Nobody wants to take the path on natural immunity, and everybody is thinking of getting some uh, vaccine to find out the solution or something like that. काही वैद्य एकत्र येऊन जर एखादे कोविड सेंटर सुरू करता आले, तेथे सौम्य पासून गंभीर अवस्थेत रुग्ण ट्रीट केले, 500,000 रुग्णांचा डेटा झाला की आयुर्वेद प्रोटोकॉल कितीतरी अधिक फायदेशीर आहे हे जगासमोर येईल. Who is going to allow you? This is dreaming. So what I feel, if we separate out asymptomatic so-called patients or COVID positive who are coming, we may subdivide them into who have been labeled as COVID positive and those who have been come in contact of that patient and that is how they have been isolated. The test is negative or positive, whatever it may be. If it is positive, then it will fall again in that category. If it is negative, then only observation or something like that. The same arrangement is in Mumbai, except food facility, advised home quarantine for mild symptomatic patients with prescription of their doctors. Only thing is those who cannot afford isolation at home. The homes are very small, there are many people in the house and isolation is not possible. Then these may be isolated in hostels. So what I am saying, anyway, the colleges are not running and there are hostels available. So hostels should be converted into isolation centers, asymptomatic, whether COVID positive or not. Again, if you may want to make a category, separate them out. Those who are really COVID positive and those who have come in contact with COVID positive. So category A, category B. More precaution to be taken in COVID positive and less precaution to be required is required for negative. But just having a suspicion that they might be suffering or they might get COVID in near future or something like that. For isolated people, proper Ayurvedic medicine, diet, yoga facilities available at Bharati Ayurved College Center. That is fine, but why hospital? Let the hostel of the Bharati hospital may be used for this. Anyway, if there are no students in the hostel, why should we engage the beds for so-called isolated patients or something like that? So that creates unnecessary burden on the hospital. The hospital should be for real patients, not only COVID, but all other patients. And we are doing injustice to all other patients. So there is more morbidity due to cancer and heart disease and TB and many other diseases. Why should the hospital be engaged only by these COVID people and denying any kind of treatment to any other patients? So this is something injustice that is being carried out, and we need not use hospital facility for this. So better option is hostel or any other. If you want to develop this kind of isolation center on a big ground or something like that, do that. College hostels, all functions hall of city is already taken by government for quarantine center. If anyone gets serious, then only patient gets shifted to hospital. But then, why they are trying to prepare this COVID centers, so to say, and why should they be called as COVID centers? Here, isolation center is in ashram shala hostel only. Also, some villages have converted school rooms to isolation centers for asymptomatic positive patients. Okay, wherein this is happening? Okay. But then these facilities are not sufficient, and this is because we are doing more and more tests. One, there should be a barrier, okay. There should be a barrier on testing the people. Only those patients who are having symptoms, either mild or severe, may be subjected to COVID-19 test. We are unnecessarily, when we know that there are so many asymptomatic patients around us, we are not bothering about them, then we are unnecessarily creating a chaos that there are so many patients or something like that. There would be, if this disease is spreading like this, there would be patients, asymptomatic patients all around us. We are only testing those who have symptoms, who have come in contact with other COVID-19 positive patients, and then again finding them that they are also COVID positive, and then we are putting them into the isolation centers or hospitals, etc., etc. So anyway, the vaccine testing has been stopped. That is another important aspect. That the people were thinking that vaccine will come and everything will be all right, etc., etc. So vaccine testing has already been stopped. So unnecessarily creating testing people and declaring them as COVID positive and starting isolation of them, when one should reduce that. So only those patients who are suspicious due to symptoms may be tested. I don't feel that those who are mild symptoms, they may not also be tested. Only acute cases might be tested, whether it is COVID or it is something else. And accordingly, we have to manage these patients. But otherwise, if we stop testing, then this count will come down drastically. And there will be no need of so many patients, isolation, etc., etc. So this was a good point that they have already isolated, captured hostels and other things, etc., etc. But then, why should we provide them food material, etc., etc.? We may have to look into the budgetary provisions, where the budget is being spent by government. So whether it is for active patients or it is for these asymptomatic patients, mild symptom patients, and what kind of budget that is being spent for this. So what I have heard is government gives 1,50,000 to positive patients or something like that. That is why the number is increasing day by day or something like that. So these facilities should be made available only to deserving people who are really serious, and government should spend on that, no doubt. But for all other patients who are asymptomatic, why should we uh, spend on them so much of amount in testing? This is again one of the important aspect is testing. And for asymptomatic patient, we are spending on testing the uh, persons or something like that, and that might be a big expenditure. So we may try to get information about the expenses that the government is doing, and for what the expenses are being done, and what is the audit report of last 5 months about this. So we may get some guidelines that these are being spent on this particular aspect, this aspect, etc., etc., and whether it is in tune with the facility that is available at the hospital. Most important aspect over here is the fear psychosis. Unless and until the fear is taken care, for fear psychosis of doctors and patients is so much that they are advising antiviral like Fabiflu in very high dose, like 1800 milligram, that is 9 tab twice daily on day 1, and then 100 milligram BID. And so our advice of Langana cannot be followed, and instead very guru high protein diet is given. But then this is for prevention. If I don't mind if you want to give this for serious patient, if at all you want to give or something like that. That is also wrong. But anyway, if we get a chance to treat serious cases in our way, we may not go for this. And whether this has been proven or not, that is another important aspect. In other cases, even in doctors, there is one association of family doctors in Pune, and they all advise to start with this the medicine, the hydrochloroquine, 2 BD or 2 tablets first day and then 1 tablet every day or something like to all doctors and their family members. And I had one case who had a severe allergic reaction all over the body. And actually, the lady was doctor and her husband suffered from this. So I treated him for that allergic reaction. But basically, is this a proper approach to prevent disease? The proper approach is building immunity. Taking hydrochloroquine for prevention is not at all justifiable anyway. So to take antiviral and to eat for that, this is again like eating food material for to control diabetes with diabetic medicine, anti-diabetic medicines, and insulin, etc., without any hunger, without any digestive power. So this should be stopped. So if we keep on doing tests again and again, increasing the number of tests, etc., etc., this is going to create a havoc that those so many cases, or something like that. And without any subtraction, we just keep on increasing the number, creating more fear psychosis or something like that. ICMR has defined the CT count of in RT-PCR at 40. In other countries, it is set at 25. It is said to be for comorbid patients to get detected even with less viral load. It's the reason we get more positive patient. 25 and more count is with lower viral load, and those people are not infective to others. It is supposed. So basically, what I feel right now, we need to take care of this fear psychosis of the people across the globe, not only in India, but across the globe. So let there be discussions about this among doctors of all pathies, not only allopathy, and something like this. What actually is the reason for making so many testings, etc., etc., and what to do with the comorbidities, etc. And why should we not emphasize on generalized immunity, natural immunity, and go ahead with that? So what I feel right now, I may try to write an article, and if possible, get it published in newspaper, or I may choose the option of going to TV, building natural immunity, and spread it through TV because that's a strong media, etc. But like me, those uh, who agree with me, everybody should start shouting about it. Sangha Shakti Kalau Yogi. In Kali Yuga, there is Sangha Shakti. So, if we start with this, though this may create some mahol or something like that. सध्या ॲलोपॅथी ट्रीटमेंट प्रोटोकॉल अत्यंत गोंधळलेल्या अवस्थेतील आहे. दुर्दैव असे की ते तसे आहे हे आपल्याला कळत असूनही ते जगासमोर आणण्याची कोणतीही व्यवस्था वैद्याच्या हातात नाही. Let us forget about that. Let us try to put what is in Ayurveda positively without disturbing the current system. So emphasize on natural immunity. That is one important aspect. Eat homely food, drink boiled water. Nobody is going to object you about this. And do yoga exercise, and keep your mind calm and quiet, etc., etc. These things, and eat only when you are hungry, etc., when the previous food has been digested. These things can be emphasized through Ayurveda for building natural immunity. You may not say COVID-19, nothing you don't want to say. We just say that building immunity is the need of the hour naturally, and then we may go for these kinds of measures, and let the society become aware. Unfortunately, the society is also having this cloth over her eyes, making itself blind and not really able to listen to what we say or something like that. But at least let us start with Ayurvedic doctors initially. Let us start with Vaidyas who are like GP, and their families and their relatives, etc., etc. So if we can create awareness about that, anyway, we are now getting cases, even acute cases and severe cases or something like that. So keep on treating those cases as per your knowledge, as per your experiences, and keep on spreading the message of general immunity. Ayurveda protocol can possible in private hospital. Collaboration can be possible. I don't think so. Everybody is looking for its own benefit. Now the private hospitals have found this an opportunity to earn money. They were earning money through other people, other patients. And now this is a safe way of earning money because nobody is going to blame if a COVID patient dies or something like that. So टीव्हीवर सुद्धा बऱ्याच आयुर्वेद प्रॉडक्टना इम्युनिटी बुस्टर म्हणून प्रचार करतात. That is true. But again, people are emphasizing on medicine and not on lifestyle, not on food habits. That's the main culprit. So we need to emphasize on natural lifestyle, natural food, and Vaidyas should start following it for themselves first. Then only other people will follow you. If you are not following it on your own, then how come you expect others to follow you? So basically, it is the change in the mindset of the Vaidyas who are practicing Ayurveda to switch over to only natural food, only natural lifestyle, etc. etc. They say that homeopathic medicine shows miraculous results. That is fine. That should be true with Ayurveda as well. But in homeopathy, there are no restrictions on food material. There is no restriction on lifestyle, etc. So people find it more easier to go for homeopathy than Ayurveda. But ultimately, we have to find out uh, natural way of building immunity. मला आपल्या पद्धतीचा डाएट आणि औषधे घेण्याची परवानगी द्यायला पेशंटची रिकव्हरी म्हणतात तसे खूप लवकर झाले. दॅट इज फाईन. प्रिव्हेंटिव्ह म्हणून सर्वांना सहस्रपुटी अभ्रक भस्म च्यवनप्राश रसायन चूर्ण द्यावे का? I don't mind giving Chyawanprash and Rasayan Churna, but again, emphasize only on medicine is not going to work. Then we are following the same track of allopathy, giving medicines or something like that. Only their medicines are dangerous and our medicines are safe. That's the only difference. So instead of giving their medicines, it's better to give our medicines, but the basic emphasis should be on building natural immunity. I don't know why you don't understand the concept of natural immunity and why you don't want to follow it for yourself. How many of you are getting up early in the morning and going to bed early using only natural or organic food? I think in this group there may be many people following this. Just say, yes, I am following it or something like that. Then let us understand how many people are not following, or let us try to see who are not following natural food or natural lifestyle. You can just make your own. Nitesh Joshi, yes. Those who are not following, they may. There would be more yes, but there would be some no. Those who are not following, they also put. Trying. Next. Preeti, no. This is very strange. Not continuously, but trying. Only natural food, partially following. Okay. Not always. So those vegetables, not all. Okay. So from our group, those who are still not following or trying to follow should shift over to organic or natural food. We shifting slowly on organic food like milk and ghee, oil, sometimes vegetables. Okay, natural food is still difficult to follow, but at least organic should be made available. A2 milk costs 108 rupees per liter. This is exorbitant. You may pet a cow. That's a better option. So uh, you can donate a cow to somebody and get milk. That will be better. In Pune, natural vegetables are really available. There is no doubt. In the sustainable store or rich and fresh, there are available. Following because continuous hammering by you. Now, ghee also should not be that costly, but unfortunately, it is costly today. But if we start taking this ghee, milk, A2 milk, not possible in Mumbai. Not really so. At least organic is available, and even A2 milk is now available in many places in Mumbai. So try to inquire. Unless and until you make a vow that I will only use this, you will not make full efforts for that. And unless and until you change, you can't change others. So just advising other people. Uh, organic food, every product is not available in Punjab, but A2 milk. काऊ नाही ठेवू शकत मुंबईमध्ये. I don't asking you for keeping a cow in Mumbai. I thought it is from Islampur. But you can get, there is Pristine Farm in Vasai. They supply A2 milk all over Mumbai. So you try to get that, or you try to find out other sources where you can get this, and at least buy food material like rice, wheat, dal, etc., etc., from organic shop. So we are not sure about authenticity of vegetables, but keep on trying. Those who can grow them in their terrace or balconies, they should try this way to cultivate them. And at least after 2 months, you will get your own vegetable. So there should be a strong desire to follow this. Unless and until there is a nishchay, you won't do it. So no gir cow ghee or Patmeda, many other companies purchasing this in bulk and marketing in high cost. I have talked with Patmeda Main. Okay. Office in Agra, they can courier you directly. So Patmeda, we are also getting that. I am trying for other sources as well, also available on Amazon. So they have this Gavyamruta website where you can directly contact them and you can get it, Patmeda, which is the cheapest one and still authentic. But what we need to do, we should make a vow to follow this first, and then we'll ask others to change. First, we should change. That begins at home. Then only we'll. So do share the number, please. You can just go in Amazon and go for Patmeda cow ghee, free delivery on Amazon. So you can find it very easily. There is no doubt. So I may put a link for that. So anyway, what I feel right now, at least we unite. Big Basket also delivered organic waste. Yeah. So we recently, when we had been to Pokhand, we ordered it from Big Basket. Big Basket is not a एक और पिक म्हणून पण आहे और पिक और पिक ORGPICT और picked ORGPICK और pick orgpic ORGPICK, that is one organic online store orgpic. They also send you home delivery. This is the app. Okay. So now there are many people coming up with this, and we should start exploring all these options for ourselves, for our patients or relatives, friends, etc. So let this become building natural immunity. Let this become a movement, and then we may have the advantages of building natural immunity and fighting COVID or any other diseases as such. If one can have true desire, there is always options available. Yeah, that is what I am saying. So the desire should be very dire that I need to do this, I need to do this, there is no option or something like that. And then you really start searching. Otherwise, your efforts are not that much. And then those are not fruitful. Any authentic Paka Shastra book, I can share this Paka Darpan which I received on WhatsApp. So you may try to see and make preparations or something like that. NIMA has started NAIC Ayurveda immunity clinics for making awareness visible about Ayurvedic principles and Ayurvedic medicine. They have formulated a case paper which gives them a score. It is low cost facility having Ayush Kashayavati and Ayurvedic diet leaflet with yoga guidelines in the rupees 150. If required, they can give other Ayurvedic medicines. Fine. If Nipah is doing something like this, then it is admirable. Because Nima has been emphasizing on integration, and if they are coming with Ayurvedic ideas, that is fine. And there are more people treated by Ayurvedic graduates practicing allopathy than us. So they have a widespread in the society. So if they are propagating Ayurveda, that should be fine. But I have also given these two guidelines in Marathi and in English. English is more elaborate. But maybe we try to come up with more guidelines about this, and that will be better. Vaidya Manish Joshi has designed their format and website. Okay. So Manish Joshi is, I think, the secretary or the Adhyaksha of this, president of this NIMA in Nashik. And fortunately enough, he is a Vaidya. So he's working for NIMA, he's a Vaidya. So this might have happened. But anyway, the more interest of Manish Joshi would be in developing that website. But anyway, this has some good effect. Let us hope that this will have some good effect as such. So what I feel right now is we emphasize on natural immunity through varieties of media. And not only me, everybody should start doing it on his own. So understand it as your responsibility and towards the society, and start doing this. Just don't keep mum about this, and start doing it for yourself, your family members, your relatives, and also for others. And let this be an opportunity to spread Ayurveda across India, across globe. So anyway, we have started this Ayurveda Gurukul Pune for propagating this idea worldwide or something like that. But unfortunately, people are still struggling with coping up with the situation right now. And they are not interested in going for these things, etc. etc. So that's a major barrier. So gradually people will turn towards that. By the time we should be fully ready to propagate Ayurveda not only for COVID-19 but also for other diseases, etc., etc., and building up natural immunity for sustainable health or something like that. Want to know Dhanya storage, ancient techniques, and plastic-free kitchen? We'll have to go to villages. There are still these systems, and in our first Gurukul place, Parsare, there was this facility available. I have seen that kothar, and they traditionally pour the dhanya from upwards, take it from downwards, and 1 year it is stored into that. It is totally made in only stone, and that was fine. So I have recently heard there is one village in Ratnagiri district which follows traditional houses and other things. So I do want to visit that place. Now this Khanu village also I wanted to visit, but now due to Corona, people have aversion for MH12. Once they see the MH12 car, they are afraid. They don't want to entertain you at all. So I dropped the idea. We have to use Chhatrapati Abrak Bhasma is fine, or Sahasrapati Abrak Bhasma, only Sahasrapati Abrak Bhasma cost. Actually, if you go for 6/6, then Sahasrapati is also fine, it's not a cost barrier. Actually, people are spending thousands of rupees or lakhs of rupees on allopathy. And our treatments are not that costly, that is very true. Only thing is people won't want to spend on Ayurveda these many rupees or something like that. So if at all you feel that this is necessary, you prescribe them and ask them to buy. And you give Sitopada Churana, etc. etc. But I think the role of medicine is very limited, and it is more of the principles that we need to understand. And implementing them properly, the principles of Ayurveda, particularly for Agni. Agni Mulam Balam Pusam. So this is one of the important aspects, and that will be better. So anyway, I have been talking about this COVID-19 only, current scenario. We may conclude over here and continue on Monday. And I haven't been able to talk to Vilobh, but mostly I will talk today. And Yoga Sutra lecture will conduct on Monday. So if you record these lectures at your end, please share today Charak lecture as it is not recorded on Vaidya Vilobh 8. No, it is recorded on. You might not have found time. No, this is recorded at his end only. It's not at my end. Only once it happened that there was no recording over there, and then I recorded it over here. Otherwise, he records it, not uploaded on YouTube. That might be the possible thing. Just call him. There might be some reason, and he will upload it. So anyway, the Sarupitri Amavasya begins on Thursday, Wednesday, and ends on Thursday. So we may have lectures in the morning till Wednesday. Thursday we'll be keeping off. I will just see. It is available on YouTube. Okay. So just see. So we may not have lecture on Wednesday if the Amavasya has already begun. But so Monday we may have lecture on Yoga Sutra in the afternoon, and then I will declare whether we'll have it on Wednesday or not. Anyway, conclude today and continue tomorrow. Day after tomorrow. Day after tomorrow. आयुर्वेद प्रकाण्डो निगदित इह हि शल्यतन्त्रप्रधानः शिष्येभ्यः शाश्वतोऽयं निखिलजनकृपा व्याप्तचित्ते मयेन आयुर्वेदस्य वाञ्छन् पुनरपि भुवने तां च सुष्ठुप्रतिष्ठां श्रेष्ठं धन्वन्तरिं तं प्रणमति च सदा वैद्यवर्गो हि नूनम् वैद्यवर्गो हि नूनम् विरम्यते व्याख्यानव्यापारः परश्वः पुनरपि मिलिष्यामः। तुला ओळखते का ती बाई?